Coach Hilliard, Skyview head boys basketball coach, back-to-back state championship appearances. Coach, I am so sorry that you were on your way down here, and I thought I told you over the phone. I'm so sorry.
You're good, no problem.
I owe you a Diet Mountain Dew or whatever you're drinking these days.
You're good.
Hey,
Wait,
Coach, congratulations on
for other times that you screw up, do you owe me things?
No, because I love Coach Hilliard.
Donuts.
There's
sodas.
There's like a big Mount Rushmore, and you're not on it with regards
okay.
Hey, Coach Hilliard, back-to-back state championship appearances. I know this one doesn't end the way you were hoping for, but what an incredible season your kids had.
Yeah, it was a good run for the kids this year. Once again, each year in high school basketball is a different makeup of kids, and it's a different journey. And this year, chemistry was there immediately. Kids came together really well. It took us a few games to figure some things out. We went down to the Elite Eight tournament and kind of put us in our place a little bit. We knocked off Harriman, but Corner Canyon and Timpview kind of took it to us a little bit. But that was a good wake-up call for us. And from that point on, I felt like we were pretty focused, and that came with a lot of senior leadership from Mason and Sam and Cam Doyle. They brought it in practice, and that where we were pretty focused. I liked how our season went from that point on, and it was fun to have a good run like that. I thought our region was good again, and we had a little a bump in the road at Ridgeline, but I think that also helped us refocus and get us ready for a good run at the state tournament. As you mentioned, it didn't turn out our way. In the final game, I felt like we had our chances. Unfortunately, some of that was out of our hands a little bit. I felt like the fact that that Mason was only able to play about 4 minutes in the second half was pretty unfortunate. But other than that, we had a lot of really good positives this year in our program, things that kids did, and it was a good run. 21-4 is nothing to be too disappointed at.
No. For the second year in a row, our panel of I don't know what you call voters, panel of professionals,
media vote,
put together their all-region team and named Mason Falslev as the Player of the Year in back-to-back seasons. What's it been like for you coaching him?
It's been amazing. It's been a lot of fun. I told my family, I told those around me, I said, it's going to be a long time before you're going to watch an athlete and a basketball player and a football player as good as Mason is. Come and watch him while you can. And we had great fan support for Mason and from the community. A lot of people came out to watch him play, and he's just been really, really fun to be around. Really, really fun to coach. He's been really coachable. He's been the hardest worker in the gym. And that just leads to his success. It's just been a lot of fun. I probably, he would probably say this, when his brother was a senior, Mason was a freshman, and we beat Fremont the last game of region to win the region that year. That was one of the funner games we've been a part of, but Mason, even as a freshman, was willing to step up and take big shots, and that's what's been fun about it. Is just he's up for the challenge, whether it's defensively, offensively, whatever it is, and I think he's improved his game every year, and so that's been fun to watch for sure.
Well, besides his skill and his skill development, I think you touched on more of the attitude that he had. He just seemed like he had a confident, relentless personality that he was going to score, and there weren't going to be too many other people who could stop him.
Well, he hates to lose, and it doesn't. And I've said this several times, but it doesn't matter if it's a dribbling drill or if it's a free throw shooting contest or a shooting, whatever it is. Mason wants to win, and he'll compete. Just as an example of that was kind of funny. We do a shooting drill in practice with 4 players, and they'd keep score, but as the season went on, we'd just add different dynamics to the shooting drill. And he got beat one time this year. And later that evening, he texted the coach that was in charge of that drill, and he just said, "Hey, I really did win that drill because so-and-so didn't get a defensive stop, and that's what you had to do to win that drill. Besides doing the other shooting drill part, you had to get a defensive stop. And he goes, so-and-so didn't get a defensive stop, and I did, so I won. That's just the kind of player he is. He's just really fun. He's got a fun personality. He's fun to be around. He wants to have fun, but he's also super competitive. And that's something that I think a lot of kids picked up on in our program, and it's been fun to watch him help us develop a culture there of winning and competitiveness. It's been really fun.
So what is he like off the court? I mean, what's his attitude like? His personality like? Is he a kid who accepts everybody, or I mean, is there any sense of arrogance or anything?
No, I've never noticed that from Mason. He's got a ton of great friends, and some of them are athletes and some of them are not, and I think that just kind of lends to the kind of kid he is. He's got a great personality. Everybody likes him. He has a good friend in Dylan Lundahl who has a few physical limitations, and he was one of our managers this year, and he would always go over and play Dylan one-on-one. And it just doesn't matter who you are. Mason wants you to feel a part and understands the bigger picture, and just a great character kid. I'm excited for him and what the future holds for sure.
How do you reload for coming up in the 2020-2021 season?
Well, we have 11 kids coming back that are juniors and a freshman that played some minutes for us this year. We played the whole second half of the state championship game with pretty much juniors. Sam was a little bit hobbled with a knee injury, and so I think we should be pretty good next year. Our front line should go 6'10", 6'7", and 6'6", and so I think we've got the size to do it. We've got the ability to do it, and we're bringing back 2 starting guards. So
what about? Sorry, Coach. What about? I know Isaac Larson is going to be moving into the Skyview boundaries. He's also a basketball player. I know you got to have tryouts and all, but do you incorporate some way of him bringing him onto the team and into the system with that kind of athletic talent?
Well, I know that he's definitely going to be a great football player for Skyview High School. He's amazing to watch on the football field. He's super athletic. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it in November. I like Isaac. I've known Isaac and his family for a long time, and Isaac's a great kid. He's a phenomenal athlete. He did a great job for Logan High this year. We'll see. It's kind of been crazy. I mean, normally we would have some open gyms and some individual camp and stuff like that in the spring. That's to be determined, and so we'll just have to see how that goes. We've got a lot of kids that are, that can do a lot of really good things, and we're just going to have to see how that all shakes down. And there's a lot of things that come into play there. But like I say, when November rolls around, I'm pretty sure that stuff will all work itself out, and we'll see where we're at and go from there. But he's definitely a talented kid. Utah State's lucky that they're getting him, and I'm excited to watch him play in the Bobcat Blue this year and see how that goes for sure.
Yeah, we're talking to Kirk Hillyard, the head boys basketball coach for the Skyview Bobcats. Coach, we know that Mason is going to be headed to the University of Utah. Do we know, are any of your other seniors off to other destinations and basketball part of their post-high school career?
Sam Phipps he's got a few guys still talking, and that's kind of raised this pandemic that we have going on has been super hard for kids being recruited right now because, coaches are kind of hobbled. They can't really have them come to their place and play for open gyms and play with their guys. And there's definitely some people interested in Sam, and he's got a couple offers out there that he's waiting to kind of make decisions on and where he's at. And so, I'm not exactly sure where that's headed. We're working with Sam and doing what we can at this point, but he'll definitely be playing next fall. It's just a matter of where he's going to be playing. Mason, on the other hand, has got a mission call, and so he's waiting to he's supposed to be heading to Brazil in June. We'll see how that all works out and see how that transpires over the next couple months. But it's been an interesting spring, and we've got some underclassmen that are getting looked at as well, and so we'll see how that shakes out next year and over the summer and stuff like that. But I think Bobcat basketball is going to be okay. I think we're going to be all right. We're having to replace a couple key guys. I mean, Sam Phipps was the tournament MVP last year in 4A when we won it down in Cedar City, and Mason's the two-time 4A MVP, and so we're replacing some big guys with some big numbers that played a big role, but we've also got some guys that are ready to step up too. So it should be fun.
Coach, I want to go back to the state championship game. I've never seen, and I'm just going to be blunt here, I've never seen a player be taken out of a game by the referees. Honestly, in a high school game, in a state championship game, like I saw what they did to Mason. Did that blow your mind? Have you ever seen anything like that? How frustrated were you as a coach? And, I mean, what do you tell Mason during that time, too?
Well, in the heat of the moment, I'm more concerned with what's going on with the scoreboard. Are we, what we need to be doing? We have the lead. We were up 1. Mason goes in and scores and it gets an offensive foul. We would have been up 3, planning to go to a zone. And of course, Mason is we've worked with him, 2 years ago, he was all over the officials, and we went up to, and he picked up a few technicals just because he was amazed that he didn't get some calls. And so he's been really good. He was really good this year about not arguing with the officials, because I feel like when you're talented like Mason and as good as you are at times, I think that a lot of things are let go because it looks easy. He does things that for some of us are super hard, and he makes them look pretty easy. And so he was pretty frustrated. He knew it. He just wanted to be out there. I would agree. I don't know that I've seen it where it's been, I have to be careful, of course, but there was one official that called 14 of 24 fouls on Skyview. And so, and we had him twice. We had him on Thursday and then again on Saturday. And that was what the state chose, and they felt like that's who they needed to go with. I've had several people tell me that. I've thought about it obviously a lot more since the game was over, and I've looked at it obviously and analyzed it. And frustrating, yes. Did we have our chances? Yes. I mean, we were 19 of 31 from the free throw line, and so a few more field goals. We missed a couple layups in the fourth quarter, and those were all chances where I still feel like we could have improved on. We tell the kids all the time, you need to shoot 70% from the free throw line and make your layups to win high school games. And we missed a couple layups and we missed some free throws. We had down the stretch a chance to win, back-to-back state championships, and that didn't come true. And I feel really bad for Mason because he wasn't able to, on the biggest stage, he wasn't able to help his team, and that's all Mason wants. All Mason's ever wanted is to help his team win. And so for him not being able to help his team there, I'd like to think that we win the game if Mason gets to play the last 4 minutes of the game. But, that's not how it worked out. And I congratulate Dixie on a great run. They've got a great team. The coach did a great job and put him in a position to win, and they were able to make it happen. And you can always second guess things after the game and this and that, but yeah, it was frustrating for us as a coaching staff and for Mason. And like I said, as a coach, I get to come back next November and I get to coach the kids and hopefully have another chance to make another run at the state championship. And for Mason, that's done. And for Sam Phipps and for Cam Doyle, they're all through. And so that's who I feel bad for, is for the kids, because that's what it should be about. It should be about the kids. And that's kind of cliche, I know, but I do feel like that's what high school basketball should be about, is the kids and their ability to go out there and make things happen and have fun, develop great relationships with their teammates. And that was unfortunate for Mason in that last game.
Hey, Coach, last question for me before we let you go. The state of Region 11 basketball, how would you classify how basketball is going in this part of the state, in this region?
In the future or this year?
Yeah, for what you see in the future, for where things are headed with some of the underclassmen that you competed against and that you've seen through the younger groups that are coming up. What do you see how do you project the future of Region 11 basketball?
Oh, pretty. I mean, just first and foremost, I think Region 11, I think we're in a good spot. I think Ridgeline obviously is in good shape. They played a ton of underclassmen this year, and have got some really good players coming back. Caden Cox is a really good player. Peyton Knowles is really good. And, they've got some other guys. The Hanson kid is darn good. Logan's got Jaden Pinniger. That's a great player. Green Canyon's got Coach Smith's son, who I think is really, really a good player. He made a ton of improvement, I felt like, from last year to this year. And then, like I told you about the Bobcats, I feel like we're sitting in a pretty good position as far as our underclassmen are concerned. I think we've got a lot of really good players coming back, and we've just got to figure things out chemistry-wise, and then we can hopefully make another run. But I think our region's in good shape. The South region's always really good. The South, with Dixie, Pineview, Desert Hills, Snow Canyon made a good run towards the end of the season. And I think it's kind of crazy. The RPI thing was good and bad, I feel like, at times. I don't know. I think we'll wait to see how hopefully they make a couple changes to that and tweak that just a little bit, because I kind of feel like playing a region opponent in that first round of the state tournament, I think, is a disadvantage for everybody involved, I think. But, I think like I said, there is some good with it. And the state obviously feels pretty good about it because Skyview played Dixie in the state championship, the 1 and 2 in the RPI. So they feel like, they did a good job. And the same thing kind of happened in football. I think there's just some things that could be put in place that would help that situation. I like the old format myself personally. But that's just my personal opinion. And that's all it is, because I know they don't want to hear from coaches at the state for the most part, but but I think our region's in good shape for the future. I think I have a ton of respect for the players or the coaches in our region. I didn't even mention Bear River, but Bear River's they've been solid the last 3 or 4 years, and I think they'll be ready to go for next year. I'm glad that Coach Shaw's on the mend and he's feeling better. So,
well, Coach Hilliard, thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciate you. Really good stuff. We'll look forward to catching up with you soon.
Yeah, and congratulations on a still successful season.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And thanks, John Newbold, for coming out and doing our games. We appreciate the radio for doing that. I think that's great for the high school kids, and I think it's great for the Valley. So thank you guys for all you do.